This hearing completely exploded after Congressman Salud Carbajal confronted Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth over classified leaks, military deployments, and Trump loyalty inside the Pentagon. Hegseth repeatedly refused to give direct yes or no answers, and the exchange ended with Carbajal calling him an embarrassment to this country right to his face.
I recognize the gentleman from California, Mr. Carbajal.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It shouldn't come as no surprise that I have serious concerns with both the deployment of the National Guard and the Marines to Los Angeles. I served in the Marine Corps. We are trained to be war fighters, not for crowd control. Everyone here should be alarmed that the President has sent armed forces into a city against the wishes of a governor and mayor. I am concerned this administration is purposely escalating the situation with this step and politicizing our armed forces in the process. Let's call it for what it is. It's political theater. Hegseth, are the Marines in Los Angeles ordered to protect property by any means necessary?
Sir, I would say the ICE officers and police officers being attacked is not political theater. The National Guard and Marines,
just yes or no. Just yes or no.
The National Guard and Marines have the full authority to protect federal ICE agents.
Yes or no?
Can
you just say yes or no? This isn't Fox anymore. Just yes or no.
They're there to protect federal agents and federal.
Another BS answer. Under the SRUF, the use of force, are Marines allowed to fire warning shots?
No.
Now that's more like it. Isn't that easy? Well, I'm going to beat this drum because you refuse to take responsibility. Will you take responsibility for having made a mistake? Not to mention, many people would say break the law in participating in the Signal group chat that included a journalist, your wife, your brother, where classified information was shared.
Sir, every way I communicate is authorized. Every way I communicate.
Okay, if you want to say that. I have called for your resignation. I didn't think you were qualified before your confirmation, and you have done nothing to inspire confidence in your ability to lead competently. You broke the law in sharing classified information, and in doing so, endangered the lives of our service members that you are responsible for. Your inability to hold yourself accountable makes you incapable to lead. This alone makes you unfit to be the Secretary of Defense. Secretary, do you think the United States should continue supporting Ukraine in its fight against Russia, a nation that is hostile towards the United States?
Well, as you know, sir, President Trump is committed to peace.
No, I just want yes or no answers.
Today, the United States has spent billions of dollars.
Yes or no? Yes or no?
Over years.
Just yes or no. Can I get a yes or no out of you?
We continue to send.
Come on.
Presidential drawdown.
It's that easy. Kindergartners could give me a yes or no. Yes or no.
Yes, we support peace in Ukraine.
Come on. Is this really leadership? You're an embarrassment to the United States. If Russia invades NATO allies, are you going to recommend to the president that we fulfill our Article 5 obligations?
Well, Russia has not invaded NATO allies.
No.
President Trump.
No. I reclaim my time. Yes or no? It's that simple.
There's Article 5 in NATO, which we recognize.
So is the answer yes or no?
That's what Article 5 is, yes.
Good. I'm glad you brought yourself to saying yes. Do you think political allegiance to Trump is a requirement for serving our nation, either in uniform or a civilian in the department?
I'm incredibly proud, as are millions of Americans.
No. Not today, Hegseth. Yes or no?
Congressman, you know what a silly question that is.
But silly enough to warrant a very straightforward answer. Yes or no?
We all support and defend the Constitution of the United States.
You know what? I'm not going to waste my time anymore. You're not worthy of my attention or my questions. You're an embarrassment to this country. You're unfit to lead. and there's been bipartisan members of Congress that have called for your resignation. You should just get the hell out and let somebody competently lead this department.
Mr. Chairman, do we not have any decorum in here?
Thank you very much. I yield my time.
Gentleman yields back. And I would urge everybody to remember and maintain a decorum suitable for this chamber with their further comments.
Pete Hegseth walked into this hearing already carrying major controversy surrounding classified communications, military deployments, and growing concerns about whether the Pentagon under Trump-aligned leadership is becoming increasingly politicized. But what unfolded during this exchange with Congressman Salud Carbajal turned into something far bigger than a normal oversight hearing. From the very beginning, Carbajal came in aggressively focused on one central issue: the use of the military in Los Angeles. As a Marine Corps veteran himself, Carbajal framed the deployment of Marines and National Guard troops not as a security necessity, but as political theater designed to escalate tensions for political purposes. That framing is important because it gets to a much larger national debate happening right now. Should military forces ever be used in ways that appear tied to domestic political messaging? Carbajal clearly believes the answer is no. And throughout the hearing, he repeatedly accused the administration of blurring the line between legitimate security operations and political intimidation. But the hearing became even more heated once Carbajal shifted toward Hegseth's leadership itself. Again and again, Carbajal demanded simple yes or no answers. And again, Hegseth responded with broader political talking points instead of direct responses. That instantly created visible frustration in the room. At one point Carbajal snapped. "This isn't Fox anymore." That line mattered because it reflected the criticism many Democrats have about Hegseth's leadership style, that he approaches serious oversight hearings more like cable news political combat than institutional accountability. Then came the classified communications controversy. Carbajal directly accused Hegseth of sharing classified information in Signal group chats involving journalists and family members, arguing that those actions endangered service members and demonstrated that Hegseth was unfit to lead the Department of Defense. And instead of addressing the accusation directly, Hegseth responded by claiming all his communications were authorized. That answer only escalated the tension further because Carbajal wasn't really asking about authorization in a technical sense. He was challenging Hegseth's judgment, accountability, and credibility as Defense Secretary. The hearing then moved into Ukraine, NATO, and America's global alliances. And this is where Hegseth's hesitation became especially noticeable. Carbajal repeatedly forced him into yes or no questions about supporting Ukraine and honoring NATO Article 5 obligations if Russia attacked an ally. Hegseth eventually answered yes, but only after multiple attempts to avoid giving a direct response. And politically, that hesitation matters. Critics already worry that parts of the Trump movement have become increasingly sympathetic toward Russia or openly hostile toward NATO alliances. So when a defense secretary struggles to give immediate direct support for treaty obligations, it raises alarms far beyond just one hearing exchange. But the moment everyone will remember came near the end. After repeated dodging and growing frustration, Carbajal completely unloaded on Hegseth, calling him an embarrassment to this country, unfit to lead, and demanding he resign so someone competent could run the Pentagon. That instantly transformed the hearing into a viral political moment. Supporters of Hegseth will argue Carbajal crossed the line and turned oversight into partisan attacks. Critics of Hegseth will argue the confrontation reflected growing concern that key national security positions are being filled based more on Trump loyalty and media combativeness than experience and competence. And honestly, that's the deeper issue underneath this entire exchange. This wasn't just about one argument. It was about what kind of leadership culture is taking shape inside America's military and defense institutions. Because when congressional hearings increasingly feel like televised political warfare instead of serious accountability sessions, it becomes harder for Americans to separate national security leadership from partisan performance politics. And that should concern everyone regardless of party. Let me know what you think in the comments. Did Congressman Carbajal go too far, Or did Pete Hegseth's answers prove he's not prepared to lead the Pentagon? And for more political analysis and hearing breakdowns, subscribe to the State Lens.